It's a Thursday morning. You wake up, reach for your phone. The alarm is plastic. You shuffle to the bathroom. The toothbrush is plastic. The shampoo bottle, the shower curtain, the toilet seat. You go downstairs, make coffee. The machine is plastic. The water filter, the milk jug, even the coffee pods. You don't think about it. You never have. But today, that changes. You turn on the news. Breaking story. The oceans are dying. 8 million tons of plastic waste every year. Sea turtles with straws in their noses. Whales washing up with stomachs full of bags. Microplastics in our blood, our brains, our babies. The images are horrifying. And the solution seems obvious. Just ban it. Ban all of it. Why are we even debating this? That afternoon, the protests begin. Millions in the streets. Ban plastic now. The pressure becomes impossible to ignore. Within days, the United Nations does something unprecedented. A global emergency vote. No debate, no transition period, no exceptions. Midnight tonight, all plastic production, sale, and use becomes illegal worldwide. Every country, every industry, everything. The world celebrates. Finally, we're taking action. Finally, we're saving the planet. You go to bed that night feeling hopeful, feeling like humanity just made the right choice. You have no idea what's coming. You wake up the next morning. The alarm goes off. You reach for your phone to silence it. It's gone. Confiscated. The case was plastic. You stumble to the bathroom. Your toothbrush isn't there. The shampoo bottles are missing. The shower curtain has been removed. You stare at the empty spaces, confused. This is real. The ban is actually happening. You get dressed and head to the grocery store. The parking lot is chaos. People flooding in, panic buying. But when you get inside, the shelves are already bare. Not because people bought everything, because everything was removed. Milk, gone. The jugs were plastic. Bread, gone. The bags were plastic. Meat, produce, cereal, juice, all of it. Removed or rotting because the packaging is banned. The store manager is arguing with officials. But people need to eat. The law is the law, no exceptions. You leave empty-handed, confused, hungry, but still convinced this is necessary. It's just temporary disruption, right? We'll adapt. You have no idea how wrong you are. Day 3. Your neighbor collapses in their driveway. You call an ambulance. It arrives, but the paramedics look panicked. They have a stretcher, but no IV bags, no oxygen masks, no blood pressure cuffs. Everything was plastic. They take your neighbor anyway, rushing to the hospital. You follow. The hospital is hell. Nurses running through hallways, searching for equipment that doesn't exist. Sirens, tubing, catheters, ventilators, dialysis machines. All of it plastic. All of it gone. Your neighbor needed dialysis. The machine used plastic tubing to filter their blood. Without it, toxins build up, organs fail. They die 3 hours later. Not from disease, from a law. You stand in that hospital room, staring at the empty space where a dialysis machine used to be, and you realize something terrible. We didn't think this through. By day 5, the death toll from preventable medical deaths passes 10,000. Diabetics without insulin delivery systems. Cancer patients without IV chemotherapy. Surgery patients bleeding out because there are no plastic blood bags for transfusions. The government tries to pass an emergency exception for medical supplies. But it's too late. The factories have been shut down. The supply chains are broken. The workers have been arrested or fled. It would take months to restart production. These people have days, and the medical crisis is just the beginning. Week 2. The food supply collapses. Turns out plastic packaging wasn't just convenient, it was necessary. Without it, food spoils in days instead of weeks. 70% of all produce rots before reaching consumers. Meat goes bad in trucks. Milk sours in hours. Bread molds overnight. Grocery stores try using paper bags. They rip, they get wet, they contaminate the food. Glass jars work for some things, but they're heavy, expensive, and they shatter. And there aren't nearly enough of them. Entire regions start running out of food. You're rationing now, 1 meal a day. The stores have lines that stretch for blocks, and when you finally get inside, there's almost nothing left. People are getting desperate. Month 1. Transportation starts failing. Every car, truck, and plane has plastic components. Fuel tanks, hoses, dashboards, insulation, seats. Without replacement parts, vehicles break down and stay broken. Trucks stop delivering food. Ambulances stop running. Planes are grounded. The global shipping network, The invisible system that keeps civilization functioning grinds to a halt. You haven't seen fresh food in weeks. The power flickers constantly because repair crews can't get parts. Your water pressure is dropping because plastic pipes are failing and there's nothing to replace them with. This isn't a temporary disruption. This is collapse. Month 3. People are starving in cities. Urban areas, which depend entirely on food being shipped in, are hit the hardest. Riots break out. Governments try to maintain order. But without working vehicles or communication systems, there's nothing they can do. You've left the city, moved to a rural area where people are growing food. But even here, it's desperate. Without plastic irrigation systems, crop yields are a fraction of what they were. Without plastic greenhouse covers, growing seasons are shorter. The global population that plastic packaging used to feed, it's dying. Not thousands, not millions, hundreds of millions. And the environmental cost, the thing we were trying to avoid, is getting worse. Governments frantically try to replace plastic with alternatives: paper, metal, glass. But producing paper at the scale we need requires cutting down forests at 10 times the rate we were before. The Amazon is being clear-cut for packaging material. Glass production requires massive amounts of energy. Coal plants run overtime, spewing more carbon than the plastic ever did. Metal is expensive, heavy, and energy-intensive to produce and transport. The emissions from switching to metal packaging dwarf anything plastic caused. We banned plastic to save the environment, and now we're destroying it faster, trying to replace it. Month 9. The world is unrecognizable. There's no internet. Fiber optic cables had plastic insulation. Power grids are failing. Electrical wires were coated in plastic. Water systems are collapsing. Pipes were PVC. You're living in a world that has been thrown back 150 years. No electricity, no running water, no communication beyond what you can shout. But it's worse than the 19th century, because back then, people knew how to live without modern infrastructure. You don't. No one alive today does. Governments try to reverse the ban, declare a state of emergency, restart plastic production. But the factories were dismantled. The workers are dead or scattered. The supply chains are shattered. The knowledge of how to manufacture many plastics at scale is gone, held by engineers who died in the medical crisis or starved in the food collapse. It would take a decade to rebuild what we destroyed in a day. And we don't have a decade. By the end of year 1, the global population has dropped by 2 billion, not from plastic pollution, from banning plastic. You're sitting in a small house, heated by a wood fire, eating food you grew yourself. You're one of the lucky ones. You survived. But the world didn't. Cities are empty. Infrastructure is dead. Technology is lost. Billions are gone. And as you sit there in the firelight, you think about how it happened. The problem was never plastic itself. Plastic saved lives. It made food safe. It made medicine possible. It made modern civilization function. The problem was how we used it, how we disposed of it, the waste, not the material. The solution wasn't banning plastic overnight. It was transitioning gradually. Better recycling systems, biodegradable alternatives developed slowly, tested carefully, reduced usage where it wasn't necessary, but keeping it where it saved lives. A 20-year plan. Not a 24-hour law. But we wanted the easy answer, the simple solution. Ban it all, fix everything. We forgot that complex problems don't have simple solutions, that systems built over a century can't be dismantled in a day, that good intentions without careful planning lead to catastrophe. We tried to save the world, and we destroyed it instead. This is what would happen if we banned all plastic overnight. Not progress, not environmental salvation, collapse. Right now, the plastic in your life isn't just convenience, it's survival. The medical equipment keeping people alive, the food packaging preventing starvation, the infrastructure carrying water and power to your home. Plastic isn't the enemy. Waste is. Pollution is. But the solution isn't destroying the systems that keep us alive. It's improving them, gradually, carefully, thoughtfully. The next time someone offers you a simple solution to a complex problem, remember this. Remember what happens when we act without thinking, when we choose purity over pragmatism, when we let urgency override wisdom. If exploring these impossible scenarios helps you appreciate the delicate systems that sustain us, consider subscribing. We examine the catastrophic to better understand the fragile. Because right now, the plastic around you isn't a problem. It's part of the solution. And as long as we're thoughtful about how we use it, we survive until the next journey.